Today on the show we have four of the most famous people in the world. Please give a warm welcome to the Beatles. Paul, John, George, and Ringo.
Hey Ellen, how you doing? Great to see you.
So John, how long has it been?
I don't know, a couple of years at least.
Well, it's great to have you here. So I've always wanted to know, how did you guys think of the name the Beatles? Paul, why don't you tell them?
First, we were known as the Silver Beatles. The origin name seems a bit hazy, but I do remember it was inspired from an American rock group, Buddy Holly and the Crickets.
As people know today, it's spelled B-E-A-T-L-E-S. But we changed it from double E to E-A because the beat of our music inspires our fans, and we wanted to have that name, have that symbol in our name. From then on, we were known as the Silver Beatles, but then we later dropped Silver from the name.
Well, your beat definitely inspires me.
Thank you.
So Ringo, I've heard your real name isn't Ringo Starr, is that true?
Yes, indeed. My real name is actually Richard Starkey, but the band gave me the name Ringo Starr.
And how did the name come up with such a unique name?
The band.
I said band.
Well, they call me Ringo because I wear a lot of rings, as you can see. And Ringo Starkey doesn't sound quite alright, so they shortened it to Star.
Interesting. I know the music business is extremely difficult to get noticed or become famous. What struggles did you have or overcome in those years?
Well, we've had so many, but one of our major problems was that it was difficult to find a drummer. So in the years 1959 to 1960, we performed gigs with no drummer.
That must have been very tough. What are some of the influences that kept you in the music business even after so many struggles, especially the drummer?
Well, there are so many, but our main ones were Elvis Presley, Buddy Holly, Little Richard, Jerry Lee Lewis, and Chuck Berry.
Interesting. So John, tell me about your wife, Yoko. How did you two meet?
Oh, I remember the first time our eyes met. It was so beautiful. Love at first sight. We both met at an art show. Yoko and I met at an art show in 1966.
When did you two tie the knot?
We got married in 1969 in Gibraltar near Spain.
Lovely. Must have been a lot of guests at that wedding, eh?
Yeah, actually.
Too bad I wasn't invited.
Yeah, your invitation got lost in the rain.
Yeah, let's go with that for now, since we're on camera. What does it feel like to hear your voice, your words, your message, and broadcasted all over the radio for millions to hear, George?
The very first time I heard Love Me Do on the radio, I went shivering all over. I didn't know the song was all that brilliant, but I was very thrilled by the reaction to the Beatles and their sound.
Yes. John and Paul, you were originally in a group called the Quarrymen, is that true?
Yeah, we weren't very good at first. I mean, I didn't even know how to tune a guitar, but I was willing to learn. I would practice every song an hour, every day. I was very dedicated to improve and succeed.
At some point in 1958, I convinced John to let George join the group.
Must have been a really exciting day for you, George?
Oh, it was.
You're not so pretty.
Okay. Do you four realize how famous and truly loved you are?
I always knew
Oh, excuse me, off the pee.
Oh, okay. Well, please, allow us to take a commercial break and we'll be back after Paul is done with the loo. Thank you.
You still have another line, Cameron.
Well, welcome back, everybody. So, since Paul is having a little bowel trouble, he won't be joining us for the rest of the show. So let's continue from where we were. Do you three realize how famous and truly loved you are by your fans?
I always knew we had many fans, but I had no idea how many. What made me notice that people loved us is when one day us four were walking out of the building and we had to have security guards, 3 for each bumper. Police had to put up a fence and push against so fans wouldn't get in.
I remember probably 90% of those fans were crying, and of those fans, 10% of them were guys.
And that is the moment that you discovered Beatlemania, correct? George, would you like to explain? That's the part where you discovered Beatlemania, correct?
Yes, at the moment I noticed I found what I am supposed to do on the earth. The four of us were supposed to meet each other and perform music for the entire world to hear.
Thank goodness you four met. Now I want to take a second to talk about this outstanding, amazing hair, which I have to say I'm completely a fan of.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, at the time when we introduced the Beatles, most men and boys had crew cuts or other close-cropped styles. But our hair was different back then. It was considered quite long and even a little outrageous. The style quickly
Sorry about that, Ringo.
Thanks, John.
Continue.
The style quickly caught on among our teenage fans.
Well, definitely caught on to me. If I were a boy, I would have done the same thing. What have you learned from this? What are you thankful for, and what do you miss from your career, John? George, sorry.
John.
John? John? John.
Yeah.
John, yes.
That's my
Should have been called Queen.
Yeah. I've learned that you can't take life for granted. I mean, when an amazing opportunity comes, you don't have time to give it a day and think about it. You have to take it right away because opportunities like that don't come along twice in a lifetime.
YOLO.
I'm also very thankful for my wife Yoko. I mean, she saved me through every concert, rehearsal, meeting, press conference. Amazing. But she didn't just marry me. She married the band. But I do miss having my privacy. I mean, you can't take 2 steps anywhere without everyone seeing or knowing what you are, or where you are, sorry. But I absolutely love it. I love that I have 4 new best friends. I love that fans all around the world will sleep out, camp out overnight just to get a glimpse of me from a distance. I like life, but I absolutely love my neighborhood.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, there you have it, the Beatles. Unfortunately, that's all the time we have for tonight. So join me tomorrow for my exclusive interview with JB.
Woo! JB!
I'm still peeing.
Thank you for watching, and be kind to one another. Thanks for being on the show. Goodbye.
Bye.